Brandon Griffin just doesn't understand. We're gonna get beat up by some birds. Hiya. So I recently took a trip to the States and I wanted to take you guys along my journey there. As you guys know, most of my content is me exploring small towns here in England, but you probably don't know that I actually came from a small town myself, which is why I truly do appreciate the different cultures within each of these individual villages and towns and cities that I explore here in the UK. So since most of you all that watch my videos are from the UK yourselves, I thought it'd be really nice to show you a little piece of the America that I am from. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Many people do not know that I was actually born in Gary, Indiana and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. Gary, Indiana is actually the hometown of Michael Jackson. When we went to the States, the reason why we were there in the first place was because Brandon Griffin's mom and my mom actually have birthdays a couple of days apart. So we went to Indiana first to celebrate my beautiful mother-in-law's birthday. And while we were there, we got to see everyone on all sides of the family. I got to see my dad's side of the family, who I really hadn't seen since my wedding 2 years ago. And then that was just like so much fun to chop it up with them and catch up. Then I got to see my mom's side of the family, which is massive. I have so many cousins, so many aunties and uncles, and it was really nice to just spend time with them. Every time I see my family in Indiana, it's always a celebration, and it's really nice to get with them. It was very sad going back and not seeing some of the relatives that usually greet us when we come into town. Since we've been away to England, we have lost a few relatives, but it was still nice to hang out. As you guys know, anytime I travel, I always go for food, and going back to the States was no exception. I had a whole itinerary of just food places that we wanted to go to. As soon as we arrived in Indiana, we went to White Castle, a place called Portillo's, and unfortunately a lot of that footage got deleted because I got a new phone while I was in the States. So all of this footage is actually due to Brandon Griffin. Speaking of Brandon Griffin, this is one of his favorite restaurants in Indiana. It's called Shoop's and it's a delicious burger spot. While we were there, he decided to act like me as a vlogger. Tell me in the comments if you believe I sound like this when I talk about all the food that I eat when I'm out and about.
Give me about 10 seconds and you'll be like, this is my food. Oh God, it looks so good. Oh my God, I know. Look at that, what's on there. I got cilantro. Oh my God. Oh, this burger was so huge. I said, oh my God, Brandon, I can't eat all this burger. Shut up.
Now, if you agree with Brandon Griffin that that's how I talk about my delicious food in all my vlogs, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Here is the bathhouse that me and Brandon Griffin actually got married in. I decided to get married in Gary, Indiana. This area is called Miller Beach because it is the place that gave me my start. I was born here, and although I might not tell everyone that this is my birthplace, I'm very proud of my upbringing. I'm not ashamed of it because I come from a place of hard workers. This is actually the high school that I thought I would be going to if I would have stayed here. And right over there is the home that I was raised in from preschool all the way up until kindergarten before I moved to a different part of town and went to the elementary school that all of my family members had went to. Going back to everyone being hard workers, the main source of the economy for Gary, Indiana was once the steel mills, and there were, I believe, 2 steel mills that had people working in it. Once one of them closed down, a lot of people left the city, and there are a couple other things that led to people leaving the city as well. But the people who decided to stay were people who were loyal. They were committed to contributing to the society and the economy of Gary, Indiana. And those people were, some of those people were my family members. So I truly appreciate the hard work that my family members put into this place. And I remember growing up, my mom and dad would send us back to Indiana so we would never forget where we came from. And that is why I choose to continue to go back every chance that I can. After spending a few days in Indiana, we headed down to Florida to prepare for my mom's birthday. And you guys know, if you've seen my other vlogs, that I get so excited every time I come back home. For me, Indiana is my birthplace and I'm proud of it. But I consider Florida my home state because I grew up there from the time I was 8 until I decided to leave as an adult. Yes, most of my family stays in Indiana. They don't stay in Gary still, they stay in the surrounding cities. But I was raised in Florida. So I actually have both cultures within me. And if you know anything about the States, you know that we have a variety of cultures all over. So yes, we're all American, but we all have different subcultures. And the culture in Florida is very different from the one in Indiana, and that's the one I actually relate to more because I was around it more. Every time I go to Florida, I always go to a gas station called Wawa, and no, Wawa is not a Florida gas station, but they have some delicious smoothies and Floridians love it. And then I always go to South Florida and get me some crab legs. Speaking of subcultures, there's a certain way that we make crab legs and seafood in Florida, and we use a thick garlic butter, most of us do, and spread it all over the food. The video does not do this seafood justice, but that is one slice of home that I really love, and I like getting it anytime I can when I go back home. So we've made it to Florida, which I'm so happy to be here. Indiana was really nice, but this is my stomping grounds, my home state, so I'm so happy to be here. The first place we got something to eat at is a place called Bo's Crab Spot in Fort Pierce, Florida, which is where we're hanging out at right now. I highly recommend it if you ever come to Florida. We're just like enjoying the weather. All the flights have been great, and I'm going to show you guys my favorite bakery here in Florida, which is in a grocery store called Publix, so we can get my mom's birthday cake and hang out with her. He just called the infantry in, and all of them just showed up. Brandon Griffin just doesn't understand we're gonna get beat up by some birds. Now, I am kind of biased because I'm slightly from two different areas. I do believe that Indiana has the best food selection in the States because they have so many mom and pop places, but I do feel like Florida has the best bakeries. Anybody that's from Florida will tell you Publix has the best subs and they have the best bakeries. But it's really cool that Brandon Griffin is from Indiana, and I can slightly relate to him because of my parents sending me and my brothers back and forth to Indiana, but then being from Florida and like introducing him to new things such as seafood. At my mom's birthday party, I actually met her partner for the very first time, and it was really nice to see her in love again. I could tell that he really makes her happy. I was also really happy to see my best friend Keisha. We actually started teaching together. We got our teaching jobs the same year. I was in first grade and she was in second grade, and we've been best buddies ever since. I didn't get to see some of my other friends while I was there because it was such a quick trip, but I'll make sure that I get to see them one more time when I return to the States. Being in the States, it was a really enlightening moment for me to see the ways that I've changed since I've been away at England, and I'll talk about that in a different video. But it was also really nice to just be around the love again. Speaking of that, me and Brandon Griffin's family, our families are actually pretty close. Brandon Griffin's grandma was my mom's Sunday school teacher, and they have a really cool relationship. So his grandma actually made a gift for my mom. I want you guys to listen into it. I just love it so much.
A birthday message. Rachel, surprise, surprise. Well, you really should be. This is the first birthday written message that you have received from me. Happy birthday, a birthday comes, a birthday goes. How old are you? Only a beautician knows. Smile. Sure hope you enjoyed today, doing whatever you want to do. I'm sure it begins by thanking the Master for all of the things that he has brought you through. Keep smiling. Love you, Sister Ruth M. Murphy. Blessings by all the best. Blessed by the best. I know that's right. Go ahead. Because she had made this up. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at her. I'm going to have to frame my little, this is by his grandmama. I'm going to have to frame it. Yeah.
Hold it. Here we go.
I truly feel so blessed to be born into and married into two great families. While I was in Florida, I still had to handle some health business, and I did find out that my vision is not that great. So in the next coming vlogs, you might see me wearing my glasses. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you stay to the end to see the family members that we have lost over this year since we have been in England. I love your support. Thank you so much, and make sure you subscribe to catch me on the next one.